Want to lead us off, please?
Hey, Brent, nice to see you again, actually.
Good to see you, brother.
Um, what was the summer like for you? Griff kind of told us that he says the offseason really started when you got people together in Phoenix. What was kind of your mindset going into to this offseason?
Uh, my mindset was to decompress from the season, get some rest, relax a little bit, be away, and of course stay in contact with my teammates, see how they feel about the summer, see how they feel about the next upcoming season.
Hey, Brandon. Christian Clark with Null.com. When you say decompress, I mean, I guess how difficult was last year just dealing with the pandemic, something people hadn't really had to deal with in NBA history before.
It was tough. I mean, just to be early for COVID testing and all the stuff that we had to do outside of it. It was tough to be there really, really good mentally. So that was time for me to be away and not have to go and do COVID tests every morning and do what I wanted to do.
Hey, Brandon, Griff sort of talked about you're taking on this leadership role. Is that something that just kind of happens over time, or you just felt like it was time? I mean, like, what kind of made you do that?
My leadership role? What's the question?
He was just saying that you sort of just really, stepped up as a kind of a leader on this team, and I'm just asking, like, what kind of brought that on for you?
Well, I think just a game of basketball. I don't think it's nothing extra that I did. I think me just wanting to be around my teammates, me just trying to get the best out of this thing. We want to win ultimately, and I think to win we have to know each other on the offense and defensive end and be ready for whatever comes. Some of us have been together 2 years, some of us have been together for one. So it was important for us to build and continue to build throughout the summer and be prepared for what's about to go on right now.
And kind of connected to that, how did the process come along of you gathering everybody and telling them to come work out with you or come work out in the same city with you? And guess what were your takeaways from that? Some of the new faces on the team.
Well, Trajan and Griff helped out a lot by figuring out wherever the guys were. It was a bunch of the young guys. Even Bledsoe came out. But my thing was to go and work on whatever we needed to work on, whether it was individually or as a team, and it was good for us to continue to build relationships. What I took from it was that we have some really hard-working guys that want to work on their game and get better. So it's important for us to actually teach the game of basketball, not what we do individually, but how it's supposed to be played. And I think we got something good out of it by playing together on the offense and defensive end and trying to get out of our comfort zone a little bit.
Brandon, for you right now, I mean, this is going to be the first time in quite a while that you're not going to have Lonzo as a teammate. What was kind of your conversations with him this summer about him going to Chicago and him not being on your team now?
Well, actually, I haven't had a conversation with him about him going to Chicago. I've seen him a couple times after he's got traded, but I think I want to wait for that conversation till actually when we head to Chicago and just seeing how he's feeling about it, how he's feeling about the game of basketball, and if he's in a good place. Well, I know he's in a good place. He got some money. That's always great, but just making sure he's in a good place and making sure that he's prepared for the season. That's all I'm worried about. It's definitely going to be different. I've played with him 4 years in this league now, so it's going to be different. I know the talent that he has, and I hope it flourishes up in Chicago.
Hey, Brandon, what have been your early impressions with Willie Green so far? And everybody talks about him being a player's coach. How much of that have you been able to see?
He's just a really, really good guy. My first impression of him. He seems like a people's person. Just making sure that the energy is good in the room. He has a feel for being a player, so it gives a different perspective. You're actually more confident to go talk to him because you know he's been in your shoes a little bit, and he knows how it feels to have the ups and downs of the season, what is going on and off the basketball floor. So it was good to talk to him.
Brandon, you mentioned a lot just playing basketball the way it should be played and playing basketball, period. That's what this is all about. I mean, how much do you guys look forward to doing just that and kind of putting aside some of the noise off the court throughout the summer?
That's never been an issue for myself. I think as a leader, that will be the message. I mean, the noise off the court has never really been an issue. I think it's more of us getting better every single game. I think it's going to be pretty easy. Just implementing what we want to do throughout the season, what we want to do in the beginning of the season, and what's going to happen for us to win basketball games. So I don't think the noise off the basketball floor is going to matter at all.
And one more, if I could. In terms of off-season improvement, is there anything you pointed to in your own game that you wanted to take that next step with?
In my own game, on the defensive side of basketball, I just want to have a better presence. I want to have a better presence and hoping that trickles down to everyone on the team. Just having that as our identity this year. And because we know we can score the basketball, I think it's going to be important for us to dial in on the defensive end and grow as men.
Yeah, and this is going to be your fourth coach in 4 seasons. So, I mean, how difficult has that been, trying to figure out yourself as a player with all these different voices, every season?
Right. I didn't even notice that. You would think the problem was me. No, it's going to be a different dynamic. Every coach has been a different dynamic. Everyone has brung something different, and ultimately, every one of them has believed in me in some type way. I think this is going to be really good. I heard nothing but really, really good things about Willie and from Willie. So I think this transition is going to be easy for me. I know exactly what I want out of this season. I know what Willie wants, and together I think we'll be really, really good.
Hey, Brandon, looks like you beefed up a little bit. How much went into that, and can you notice the difference, like when you're on the court already? Can you tell? You feel stronger or whatever?
I mean, I feel stronger. I felt like I felt stronger every single season that I've been in the league. I think this year it's been more important than ever, just making sure that my body is strong and can withstand an 82-game season and even a playoff season. So that's been really, really important to me, just making sure that my body is good for this season.
We can open up for the Zoom questions, please.
Yeah, go ahead. Brandon, what's your relationship like right now with Zion? I know last year was the year where you guys were kind of supposed to take that step forward together. Not everything went the way that I guess you guys anticipated. What has your communication been like this offseason, and how much, what do you guys have to do differently, I guess, together to kind of push this thing forward?
Well, we've maybe talked 2 or 3 times this summer. Our communication is really, really good, especially when we're in the same setting. I think we're kind of the same people when we go off. We really don't like to be bothered. We go in our little holes, and we just like to work. We just like to work on the stuff that we need to work on. But our relationship will be really, really good this year. Of course, we know that we can do some things on the floor that a lot of guys can't do on the basketball floor, and it's going to be important for us to come in and show our talent and our effort every single day on the offense and defensive end. So I think me and Zion will be fine, just figuring out, and with Willie figuring out where we want to be on the floor and taking that next step on the defensive end.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Brandon, thanks for having us on today. My question is more, you joked about Lonzo getting his money. You got your big contract, too. Can you talk about your comfort level, not only with this team, but with this city and your commitment level towards that? And on the offseason, with you being a leader of all the offseason programs, I just wanted to ask, what was y'all jamming in the gym? Who was running the DJ booth?
I mean, I'm very comfortable in the city. I think me getting the money is motivating me to get even more throughout these next 5 years, just showing the player that who the Pelicans believe I am and who I believe I can be. I think it's who controls the DJ. Lonzo actually controls the DJ in the locker room, but I guess I don't know. I see Nikhil dancing all the time, so Nikhil might control the DJ until it get real bad. I like listening to lyrics and songs, so I don't know.
All right, we'll take one more question from Brett, and then we'll be finished here.
Over here, Brandon. Hey, with Zion choosing to kind of rehab on his own and be away from the team, I guess there could have been a little risk that it could have been perceived as him maybe not being as invested in you guys going into this offseason as you would have liked. But, that's also could be way, way off. I mean, how did you kind of view that whole separation?
Him being away. It's kind of different for rookies to be away. Well, a guy that was just a rookie to be away. But whatever, he's a very important piece to what we're doing with the Pelicans. Whatever he needs, whatever he needs to get better for this season, I think the Pelicans were all bought into whatever that he needed. If that was isolation, he has a life outside of basketball. So if isolation or whatever he needs is going to make him perform better this season, or him going away and getting in the weight room and being on the floor away from New Orleans, then that's perfect for him. And as long as we're on the right track to winning basketball games during the season, I think we get the real answer of how everything went. I don't think it matters of how it's perceived or anything. It's him just going back and putting in the work, and if he put in the work, then we have a great season.
I appreciate it.